Happy Halloween, everyone.
Wait a minute, you're not Steve.
No.
Well, look. I mean, I might not be Steve,
Now,
but look what I can
hold on. She's not Steve. But there's something familiar about her.
I can do this.
Oh, there's something familiar about your girlfriend? Gee, Dave, why don't you tell us all what it is?
Damn, dude. You know, you just have to be... Just like Geralt of Rivia to be that kind of asshole and ruin the surprise.
Yes. Yes, I would.
You know what? Yes. Hi, America. That's my girlfriend.
Oh, you're pointing at me, motherfucker.
That
I'm
is...
pointing at her.
No, you're definitely pointing
at
at Will. Will's your
pointing
girlfriend.
at me.
Are you up there?
I'm over.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah, that's
There we go.
He did it.
Okay.
That's
Yay.
my girlfriend. Yay.
Yes, this
The
is
other
your left.
person with long
That's your
silver
left.
hair.
This is your right. You're gonna die.
You're on the
Yeah.
left.
Oh no!
So
I dropped things.
as was stated, it is Halloween, folks. Although it's not actually Halloween, but you know what? It's Halloween.
Oh,
Fuck
it will be when this comes out.
There's a full moon out tonight, and that's what matters.
Tino,
That
don't
is
release.
true.
Tino, don't release this
inevitable-
episode until literally the morning of Halloween. I beg you.
Okay. Okay.
Fair enough. So, as Tino said, we're about to transform into werewolves. So we figured we'd record a podcast before we go screaming off into the woods.
Yes.
What do you mean we?
So,
what do you think I brought all this gear for? I'm hunting werewolves.
Before we get started,
Motherfucker, you are one.
so before we get started,
You got bit. You got bit like everyone else. I saw it.
He's a Y-wolf.
oh my god, are they gonna fight about who's a werewolf now?
Not right now.
All right, you know, if both of you want to be werewolves, that's fine.
Look, if we're all gonna
I
start
got the
distrusting...
sword that's made out of silver that's used to slay monsters, so that I'll see you too at some point.
I have one made of wood.
Look, if we're all going to start distrusting each other, I think we need to get John Carpenter involved.
I mean, look.
Okay, you know,
I
it's
was
funny
actually
you
watching that the other night.
So it's kind of funny because on a related note to that, whilst playing Metroid Dread and thinking about that in Fusion, I had a revelation that basically that's what the X-Parasites are. It's like, oh, this shit's just the thing.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's the thing, it's the flood, it's the Tyranids, it's the mushroom stuff from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yep.
So to address the Steve-sized hole in the podcast, what happened was Dracula called and he said he's coming over tonight, and Steve is a big sissy, so he ran and hid under his bed where he's probably wetting his pants. So what happened was we needed a fourth person to fill in, and Vicky said, hey, I'm not a big coward. I'll volunteer to be part of the Halloween special. And Steve was like, I can't respond to that because I'm too busy wetting myself under my mattress.
Now, Will's being disrespectful and being a big liar here, because what actually happened is that Steve is fucking dead.
I didn't do it.
You heard it here first.
You know what, Dave? I'm trying to pay respects to the fact that he passed away today.
Yeah, But Will, he died of his cowardice because he pissed himself to death out of being afraid of Dracula coming.
Oh,
that causes a lot of dehydration.
Do you mean that he drowned in his own urine while peeing under the bed?
You know, if only he went in a manner that dignified.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, this being the Halloween special, I am presenting a lot of Halloween-themed stuff this week for the topic.
May I make a suggestion before we do that?
Of course.
Because I think we need to discuss what we're all dressed as.
Oh, sure.
You may start, by the way.
All right. To anyone who can't tell already, I am Geralt of Rivia. I will be actually going to a wedding dressed like this in the next 10 days, so yay.
Sorry?
No, I was going to say, Dave, you're next.
I'm a lazy son of a bitch. I'm not anything specific. I'm just a very tired and overworked pirate captain. And I will also be going to that same goddamn wedding dressed like this.
Tino?
I'm not going to any weddings, but I'm dressed as myself. This is literally what I used to wear on snow coverage.
So he's basically Dennis Quaid. Vicky?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, like, hi, I'm like your friend from high school. I'm like super into anime and video games, and I'm like one of the cool nerds. So, you only really hang out with
her.
Damn. You only
it's too
really hang
late for
out with
that.
me though because like I can find you the best like fan subs, fan dubs, and like I also pirate things. Do you want to see my modded DS?
Oh
We
my
can
god.
keep her.
All right.
Wait, keep going, because there's more to this. I know you have more.
Okay, so I kind of came up with my own bleach Sona. Her name is Sakura.
There we go. There it is. There's the pain. That's the
So her name
ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love this woman, because she knows how to dig through the years like they
You
are
do have
folders in a
beer.
What?
Huh?
Tino
I
has beer
desperately
after all.
I desperately needed one after hearing all that.
Oh my god.
She knows how to dig through years as though they were folders in a filing cabinet, and to just dig back
And it
enough
hurts.
decades to reach in and yank at your fucking sternum.
Just really
Yeah,
make it
especially
hurt.
because my character, her name is Sakura Kurosaki, and if you check out my Gaia Online post, you'll see everything about her. I like found these like anime girls that kind of look like her. So anyway, this is her sword. Okay, but yeah, no. So yeah, that's basically it.
Oh, what is more painful, that we knew this person or that we were this person at some point?
Yes.
I was never that person.
You certainly were.
You have a bleach mug.
Yeah, I don't have a bleach Sona.
You have a bleach mug. That's close enough. Anyway.
I varied between knowing this person and being this person, because I was the guy who knew how to use torrents in high school.
So
You're the reason I have Macross Frontier, so...
Exactly.
Why
You're
the
also
family
the reason
computer
why I
is
have
dead.
Macross Frontier.
You're why the family computer's dead, Dave.
No, I had my own computer.
We are
It's
all
that-
why the
I'm
family
why
Dave's the
computer
reason
is
why-
dead.
I'm why that's dead.
Yeah. So we have a Halloween themed question this week, actually two.
Really?
From Natalie. She wants to know, hey guys, which horror movie, monster, or villain would you absolutely hate to be murdered by?
Any of them? I don't want to be murdered.
That's fair.
It's
And
a,
there's a flip question to that as well. Which horror movie, monster, or villain would you prefer to be murdered by?
so it's an interesting thing, because you know, there's a lot of horrible ways to go. Chainsaws and machetes are not pleasant, but at least you understand how you're dying. We referenced it earlier. I would hate to be alone in the room with the thing, because that thing just gets into you and changes you cell by cell, and you die cell by cell as you're slowly turned into it and become a Cronenberg nightmare.
Yup.
Equivalent also is any of the Hellraiser crew.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause-
that's... Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's never open the puzzle box, guys.
But dude, come on, I'm so close to champions.
No, we're not gonna do that, dude. I'd rather not be tortured for eternity and wondering why I enjoy getting my nipples sliced off. Tino. Actually, wait, no, wait, hold on, Dave. Which horror movie monster would you want to kill?
Ooh, that's a good question. Give me a vampire or any vampire.
All right.
I may end up permanently enthralled, but fuck it.
Yeah,
At
that's
least-
the question. Do you want to be a vampire because you get to still be alive even though you're dead?
No, knowing my luck, I would be the guy who gets ripped to shreds, but like I said, a death I can at least comprehend.
I can see that. Tino?
I would not want to be murdered in any of the Saw movies because you're tortured to death.
All right, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
That's fair.
As to which one I would prefer, I'm trying to think. The Terminator isn't really a horror movie. That's more sci-fi.
Actually, the original
Yeah, the original
the
one.
original Terminator is actually a horror movie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. If we're gonna count that, then I'd prefer to be murdered by the Terminator because typically it's quick. You either get shot or crushed by something.
Yeah.
So you're
Okay.
you're not sitting there getting tortured psychologically and physically for hours like you would be in a Saw movie.
Unless you're one of those people who get caught in the extended universe and dragged back to a Skynet base so the AI can experiment on you and turn you into some fucked up cyborg.
Well, Tino, you can't change your answer now. Vicky!
I'm
All
going
right.
to
Time to take it back.
Oh no, what do I not want to be murdered by? I gotta be real with you. I do not want to be murdered in a zombie movie. It's like you're kind of just stuck as this like shell of what you used to be, or like in limbo, and you're just shambling around, and it's honestly really fucking depressing. And why would I choose to be depressing in death when I could be depressing in life? Like what is this shit?
You decompose while still conscious. I can't think of anything more horrible.
Yeah, no, it's not a good time. Now, what would I want to be killed by? I want to be killed by something that I actually have a fighting chance against. Something where I could be like not like an actual fighting chance, but I think I have a fighting chance. Kind of like if Jason just like roundhouse kicks my head off. Like, that's fine. I'll deal with that. I can be like, hey, I died throwing hands the same way I lived.
You died going 0-2 with Jason.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Vicky's dead, but go!
Just like that one dude from Jason Takes Manhattan when he decides to, have a boxing match of Jason on top of the skyscraper.
Yes, oh my god,
You see,
yes.
that is the final boss fight of a fucking video game. I get what Vicky's coming at here. Like I said, you'd rather go to 0-2 with Jason and Pools. Up next, Jason Umahara.
So
Don't do that. That's actually scarier than regular Jason. Don't do that. Please no.
He can parry all your blows in a single string.
Jason Momoa is not amused.
I don't want to get killed.
No. Jason Umahara is a reference to. Do you know?
Daigo the
I
Boost.
know.
Daigo
I'm
the
just throwing
Boost.
in another Jason.
Fair enough.
We're throwing in
Jason
more
the Beast Umahara. I don't want to be murdered
don't
by
anger
that.
Jason Alexander. He'll tell you like how he was in the pool as he pushes you out of the way as he escapes an apartment fire.
It was the summer of George, dude. It was the summer of George.
It really was the summer of George. So, okay,
He knows
guess.
what you did last summer of George.
Oh my god, I know what you did last summer of George. All right, so I got kind of lucky. Dave and Vicky actually, because I had a three-way tie of monsters I wouldn't want to have kill me, and zombies and the thing are actually third and second respectively. The number one that I wouldn't want to have kill me is the blob.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because you get melted while you're alive. And I don't know at what point you stop living. Because I don't know if you've seen any of the Blob movies. Have you seen the
I haven't,
remake?
but I've seen clips.
Okay, have you seen any from the 1986 remake?
No.
I've seen them.
Yeah, there's two scenes from that one where two people are like being swallowed by the blob, and they're like reaching out trying to get someone to grab onto them, and you could tell they're melting, you could tell they're in a lot of pain, and you could tell they're still alive. And I'm just thinking, if my skin has already been melted off, I'd want to be dead by then. I wouldn't want to wait another like minute or two to be fully dissolved. That's got to be torture.
Yeah.
To that effect, I would not want to be abducted by the collectors from Mass Effect 2, because that is also a horrible way to go. Nor would I want to be, well, I wouldn't want to be even remotely connected to Troll 2, but that's another story.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me.
I will add one more.
Oh my god!
I will add one more into this, and this is for Will, a special for you. I never want to be in the cube.
Oh, yeah. So it's not technically a monster, but to anyone who has seen any of the Cube movies, I think I'd rather go through one of Jigsaw's traps than go through the Cube. Because the Cube is, oh, you went in the wrong room? Get ready to get acid sprayed in your face like the Ren.
Oh, great.
No, like from all directions, and then you melt.
No, like, he just got it right in his eyes. And then, like, when they come back to him later, like, this part of his face has dissolved backwards.
I'm thinking about the Cube Zero fucker.
Oh, that dude, no. There's a lot. No, he didn't get sprayed with acid, actually.
Oh, yeah, wasn't he? I guess it was some flesh-eating thing.
No, it was base.
Oh, yeah, base, right. Fuck.
They took it in the other direction.
So we're not going to dip you in. We're not going to dip you in ass. No, Tino, not based. This was a bad way to die.
Think the other end of the pH scale, Tino.
I know what you mean. I made a stupid joke.
I think we can all agree, though,
I can't
that
tell because I can't see your eyes under there.
That's the idea.
idea. I think we can all agree, though, that one of the worst ways to go is a way where you feel like you could have prevented it and you realize it last second. Let's say, for example, I don't know, Scream or, Jesus, Final Destination.
Oh, Final Destination I hate so
Or
much.
Because it's plausible, sort of.
How about the remake of Dawn of the Dead where CJ realizes that if he only had checked the door of the bus before diving back in, he would have known if he had an escape route or not.
I have to say something about the Final Destination movies. This was... You guys remember in college when I had my retinal detachment, right?
Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
Well, when I came back, I was living with Dave Scolari and Ryan at Carden in room 420, by the way.
Nice.
At the time. And Ryan had the brilliant idea to watch The Final Destination, which turned out not to be the final final
it never ends.
movie. Yeah, it never ends. But in that one of the victims is getting LASIK eye surgery.
I know this scene.
And the machine breaker doesn't kick in, so the laser is way too powerful and starts shooting lasers into her eyes. And that's what they had to do to fix my retinal detachment. And so I'm watching this going like, Ryan, turn it off, turn it off!
Oh, God, yeah.
You know that's why he put it on, right?
Yeah, probably.
So my Final Destination memory is I think it was 2 that I saw. And there's 2 scenes. One is there's a scene where a dude is reaching into a garbage disposal to grab something and his hands touch the blades. And we think, oh God. And then he pulls his hands out fine. And then he slips and falls and hits his head. Later in that same movie, there's a dude who's in the bathroom with nail clippers trimming his nose hairs. And we think, and it's clearly set up for those clippers are going into his brain. And it is unbearably tense as water starts flowing under him for him to slip. And he slips. And the clippers fly out of his hands and away into the other side of the room as the shower cord wraps around his neck.
Oh, yeah.
Basically hangs himself by accident.
Subverting expectations.
Yeah, that's kind of the shtick of the Final Destination movies. The girl, getting her eyes blasted by a laser doesn't die from the laser. She trips over something that was on the floor and falls out of a 3-story window and lands on a car.
Yeah.
God, it's just like another.
So it's literally, it's a tension and release movie, and sometimes the release is just...
Awful.
I know I was dreading this, but I'm kind of disappointed you didn't do it.
Like the guy who in Final Destination 2, you think he's going to drown, and then really, like, a hot tub just falls on him from, like, the floor above.
Yeah, it's like almost slapstick in a way.
Yeah.
Macabre slapstick.
Oh, just the best kind. So, I have a few topics I want to introduce for the Halloween theme special.
But before we get to that, Will,
Sure.
I do think, look, we all on the Game Room podcast have introduced how we know each other. We have not done the same.
Oh, that's
Vicky.
right.
Indeed, sweetheart.
I keep forgetting that, like, we all know Vicky, but our 5 listeners don't.
Yeah, they're like,
True.
he's this asshole.
So please,
Bring back Steve. It's like...
no one's asking to bring back Steve, sweetheart.
But yeah, well, I guess I should probably bring up the whole who the hell I am. And how I'm introducing myself to the audience is actually remarkably similar how I introduced myself to these poor bastards. So one day in Anime Club, I just show up one day after learning about it, and I'm wearing
Wait. You need to tell us how you found out about Anime Club, because that almost resulted in an accidental assault.
That is true.
There were two ways that I actually was introduced. There was the initial way, which did result in an assault, and the second way, which actually almost resulted in an assault. This isn't good. So the first one was this dude who ended up stalking me at the end of my first day of journalism school at college. He was just kind of following me around. He's like, "So you're a girl who likes video games?" And I'm like, "I'm fucked." He told me about Anime Club. Ultimately, he ended up getting kicked in the neck a couple years later. Water under the bridge. The second way, I'm minding my own business. I have my backpack on, walking around the campus, and I have a little elf plushie hanging off of my backpack because, of course, I would. And again, wandering around, minding my own business. And Flora, she taps me on the shoulder. I don't know who this person is, so she just taps me on the shoulder.
For context, Flora is Steve's wife.
Sorry about that. I forgot that she wasn't introduced. So I basically leap a solid foot into the air and turn around ready to just go. Yo. And she's like, "Hey, do you like anime?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "You're not a threat to me." "Okay, cool, talk."
You're not a threat to me. I guess we can have a conversation.
I'm just let's go. "Oh, okay. You're cool." Right.
I mean, to be fair, this is 90% of how introductions go with you, babe.
You didn't have to call me out. I came here to have fun. I didn't come here to be attacked, goddammit.
You came here to be attacked.
I absolutely came here to be attacked.
That's what the podcast is evolving into.
This is a circular firing range, and we are all sitting on front of different targets.
It's a square.
It's a circular firing range where we're all aiming a firearm at ourselves.
Yep.
But, so after Flora gave me a jump scare, I show up to Anime Club one day, and I'm like, I don't know what to do to indicate that I'm a nerd at this Anime Club. I should probably do something that.
In.
Yeah, so I walked in, and I'm wearing.
Okay, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but God, Tino's just having this stoic, unmoving expression under his.
He's got a big mask on.
He has his, but he's keeping this stern, stiff face under it. And I keep cracking up looking at it.
It's Dennis Quaid. He's literally Dennis Quaid.
Paper faces on parade. Masquerade.
Look, we already sang a duet from that play. I will do it again. Don't make me do it again.
Look forward to our future musical podcast.
Oh gosh.
Oh, no.
But so I'm like, how do I let these people know I'm a
Copyright
nerd?
strike in 3, 2, 1.
They can't copyright strike us if we sing it poorly.
Yes.
They certainly can.
But
I don't mean legally. I mean the bots can't recognize it. What, you think a bot can hear when you miss an F sharp?
I mean, maybe. Depends on who designed the bot.
Don't give the bots ideas. Anyway, Vicky.
Algorithm. But so I walk in partially a gothic Lolita outfit. I have a shirt like this on, a gothic Lolita skirt on, and I'm wearing a Gaia Online hat. The O'Reilly hat, the one that looks like an owl for anybody who remembers what the hell Gaia Online even is.
I'm on it right now.
God damn it, Will. No.
Man, we're all trash.
Yes.
Yeah, we are, and that's why we
people.
started a podcast together.
So I just walk in, I just sit down, I don't say anything to anyone, and out of nowhere, Will just bounds up out of nowhere. He's like, "Is that a Guy Online hat?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he just hugs me, and I'm just sitting there panicking, why is the giant man hugging me? Why is the giant man hugging me?
Oh, man.
And that was, and now I'm going to go and throw a little entropy into this so that we can all suffer together. So if I'm running the calculations right, that was your freshman year of college, correct?
Yep, that was fall of 2008.
2008, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same time I showed up, more or less. Give or take a few weeks.
Yep.
So I just showed up thinking, I'm not going to make any friends. Probably nobody there. And then he
you
just
left there
me.
with an entire club room full of friends.
Yep.
And it was pretty great.
About right.
Indeed.
That's how club used to go.
Indeed. Was that where you and I met, babe? Or
yes,
because my memory of that time is kind of just an amorphous blob.
Yeah, that's where you two met and then decided that you were going to wait 12 years before actually dating.
We had to get through the rival arc first because if anybody here recalls, Dave and I did not initially get along.
Oh yeah, no. This is one of those shonen animes where the two they're clearly the deuteragonists hate each other and despise each other and fight each other and have a couple falling outs and then a couple Sasuke retrieval arcs. And
it's not that I like you or anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is what happens when two tsunderes fall in love.
Yeah, it was basically a tsundere thing, and then after the climactic battle in the ashes of the city, they make out.
I've said this many times. Dave and Vicky are my favorite anime.
And we're glad to provide you entertainment.
I feel like
better than anything on Crunchyroll.
I feel like honestly, ooh.
Boy, we're really making sure that anyone who might want to sponsor us decides no.
I am not taking any sponsors' money.
It's not like I want you to sponsor us or anything, but baka.
What if Smith and Wesson wanted to sponsor us, Tino?
I retract my previous statement.
Oh!
Yeah, you better
looks like I found the loophole!
So here's the thing about sponsorships. You say no now, and then you see all the zeros in the email, and then you're talking about Raid Shadow Legends, the exciting new mobile game.
Unfortunately for us, all the zeros would be before the decimal, and then the actual numbers would come after it. It'd be like 0.00000000000 decimal 17.
So we want you to
paid 17 cents to talk about Raid Shadow Legends.
So we want you to talk about our
money in the bank.
So we want you to talk about our product, but we want you to pay us money.
I don't see how this is a win.
For you guys, it's not. If you mention our product without paying us, you're in trouble. Anyway.
That's kind of how it
What
works.
is this, Disney? What?
Anyway.
What?
So, to get kind of on track with some of the topics I brought tonight.
All right.
I have a few things. First thing I want to bring up, I don't know how familiar you guys are with AMC Fear Fest.
I have seen it in passing. I haven't been to the movies in the last couple of years, both for the obvious and not obvious reasons.
This is the one on TV.
Channel AMC.
Oh, AMC, the channel. Yeah, no, I actually am intimately familiar.
Yeah, so they kind of run like the same 20 horror movies every year, and they occasionally switch things up. But there's some really great moments that they'll just play something out of the blue. Like they played The Stuff this year.
I don't watch enough horror movies. I don't know what The Stuff is.
The Stuff is basically, so you know the movie The Blob?
Yeah.
All right, so The Stuff is basically The Blob, except you eat it and then it eats you.
Ew.
Oh.
It's like a pineapple.
It's the Blob.
It's like The Blob meets Xenomorphs.
I was just about to say, it's like if you ate the alien eggs.
You guys know that if you eat pineapple, it eats you back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
horrifying.
we always win.
Always.
For now.
Or just
For
Thank
now.
you.
For now.
This man knows what's up. And that
Does
one too.
anyone really know what the pineapples are up to?
You know, we're not going to get into another Growler Bear discussion here. But
The correct term is the Guy Fieri bears.
yes, the Frosted Tip Bear.
Except
I hate that
No,
Steve
it's
beat
true.
me to that joke the other time.
Except Flavor Town is your face.
It really is. So the one thing that I love about AMC Fear Fest is that I will rewatch movies that I have that I've seen hundreds of times before, but I just haven't seen in a while. I will watch every one of the Halloween movies at least 4 or 5 times during Fear Fest, including Season of the Witch, which I know a lot of people don't like. But I was watching yesterday and today. I got through half of it yesterday. I watched the rest of it today. The remake of Dawn of the Dead. And
the one from 2000 or
2004, yeah. And I've come to realize something. That is a really good remake, and it kind of enters a very rare territory for me where I don't consider the original or the remake to be better. I consider them to be two separate entities in a way.
Oh, like the like the Resident Evil 2 remake. It's the same plot but a different game.
Yeah. Speaking of video games along those lines, there's actually 2 moments in the remake of Dawn of the Dead that I remember when I watched it originally in 2004. I'm like, if they ever make a video game, I could see this being a part that you have to play. First part is it would be like a split choice in the video game. Because there's a scene where Andre and his wife Luda are getting ready to have their baby, and the lights go out because like the generators get messed up somehow. So part of the group has to go and restore power by turning on the backup generator, and the other part of the group is going to check on Andre and the baby. And for those who don't know, Andre's wife got scratched by a zombie, so she zombifies. So Andre is heir of his zombified wife and his zombified baby.
Oh yes, I remember that scene.
Zombabies, zombabies.
But I just remember thinking, like, in a video game, like, oh, that would be such a great cutscene to lead into, like, an actual gameplay element. Like, you have to choose whether you're going to go help restore the generator or if you're going to go check up on Andre and his zombie family. And the other part that seemed like a pretty good...
Shades of Kendo, by the way.
As in the Kendo gun shop?
And the character. Who owns that gun shop.
Yeah, no, I know. All right. I don't know why I didn't get that at first. I'm like, wait a minute, where's he going with this? The other part that I thought would have made a really good video game moment was there's a part where they go to give food to Andy, the guy who owns the gun shop, but zombies get in, and Andy tells you that he's been bitten. And then, like, one of the group, like, drives over to go rescue... Like, she goes to rescue the dog. Which is, like, the zombies aren't attacking dogs. They don't care about animals. They just care about people. So the dog is safe even if it's in a room full of zombies. But then you have to go rescue your member of the group that went over there. And you can't just abandon her because you need to go to the gun shop and get guns and ammo anyway. I just thought that'd be, like, a really nifty thing, like, if they ever made that into a video game, but then... Maybe not, because I think they tried to turn Land of the Dead into a video game, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
Which came out first? The Dawn of the Dead remake or Dead Rising? Because they both take place in a mall.
Dawn of the Dead remake.
Okay.
But I think
and
Dead
the original,
Rising was...
And the original Dawn of the Dead was in a mall, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Dead Rising was heavily based on both of those.
Yeah.
Or not based, inspired by it.
No, it's safe to say it was based on them, I think, because I think they were directly quoting, like, yeah, no, this is designed to give off Dawn of the Dead vibes.
Yeah.
Oh man, Dead Rising. Such a shame. Such a shame.
You know, first two games are great. Third game is fun, but I mean, like,
Yeah. It got
and then
weak.
the fourth game is just why there's no more Dead Rising games.
Pretty much.
I actually have not, like, I love video games and I love zombie video games. I've invested a lot of time into Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. A lot of time. I have not played Dead Rising, surprisingly.
So, bringing up Left 4 Dead's interesting because one of the things that Dawn of the Dead remake was lauded for was creating, well, not creating, but heavily utilizing much faster zombies rather than the slow shamblers we're used to. And you saw that crap all over things like Left 4 Dead.
Yep.
You know, you're just minding your own business and then this dude just runs up and just starts beating the shit out of you.
Dead Rising was how that was kind of my introduction to the whole Xbox 360 system, and I was like, "Whoa, that's what this system is capable of. That's pretty neat." You know,
yeah.
Yep, massive crowds and textures that are too small to read on a non-HD television.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so much fun when I think I went down the shore the one time and I brought my Xbox 360 and the only TV I could play it on was non-HD. And boy, did I hate trying to read those text bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Otis, what are you trying to tell me? I can't see because this TV's only in 480p maximum.
Try playing Dragon's Crown in a really shitty small TV. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what this weapon does. I'm very scared. This just looks like a blur. Help me.
Who are you playing as?
Okay, so I was definitely playing as a sorceress.
Of course.
Yeah.
Giant titty sorceress. No other
Don't
option.
Judge me!
Well, no,
Don't
you
judge me.
could play as big muscular butt Amazon lady.
She was the next choice.
True.
So, I kind of want to segue from the movie thing because over the years, like when I was a little kid, like the horror movies did used to scare me. Like there was literally the way I got introduced to AMC Fear Fest at one point. My dad watching movies. It was like Halloween time, like October-ish, and I was 4 years old, and I kept bugging him to let me stay up and watch movies with him. And finally, he relented and let me watch Child's Play when I was 4, and I got like freaked the fuck out.
No.
Oh no!
And there was literally, he scared the hell out of me, and I was like literally almost too afraid to ever sleep. And then the one day he tried to get revenge, or not revenge, but he tried to play a prank on me. He actually bought like a Chucky doll, and
no!
while I was sleeping, he put it in the bed next to me.
No!
So I woke up, and he's expecting to hear me scream. I was so terrified I couldn't scream. I grabbed the doll, and instead of hearing me scream, he hears glass breaking because I threw it through the window of my room. And of course he was gonna take the doll and like return it after, but he couldn't because the doll landed on like the fence outside and like cracked its face open and everything. So my mom then yelled at both of us, me for breaking a window and my dad for causing me to break a window.
So, how traumatic was Toy Story for you, Will?
Well, I'll say this: my mom definitely waited to see if I would bring up wanting to go see it in theaters before she offered to take me to see it.
Oh no!
Toys can see everything.
Oh my god!
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Sid basically lived through the G-rated version of Child's Play.
Yeah.
But over the years, like, you know, I got over my fear of horror movies and I started to love them. And then I've watched like so many of them. I love like the 80s ones, like especially the cheesy ones.
Yes.
But
cheesy B movies will always have a place in everyone's heart.
But after, well, yeah, I mean, I'll get back to cheesy B movies a little later, but the thing I want to segue into right now real quick is, so after realizing that horror movies couldn't scare me anymore, I had to figure out like something new that would terrify me. And I actually want to go around, before I get to what I found that scares me, find out what actually can scare each one of you. Vicky, how about you start us off?
So this is how you do me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stuff that legitimately
Phrasing.
scares me.
Ah!
Yeah, he got you there.
Okay, you shut up. You shut up.
Are you pointing at Tino or Dave?
Dave, this one down here.
Oh,
Other
he's
direction.
on the other side for you.
We're not seeing the same screen.
Yeah.
Whatever. The guy that I'm dating.
The left and right are reversed on
She
your
means
screen.
me. She's telling me to shut the hell up, and my answer is no.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dave,
so
you're
that
gonna
we
get it
go.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's
We
go.
can do this.
Let's go.
We
Let's
can do
go.
this.
All right, so
Anyway.
Vicky, what actually is capable of scaring you, like legitimately scaring you?
So I feel like I touched on this earlier, but I will say my favorite genre is definitely cheesy stuff. That's not what scares me. What scares me is realism. So, like, not necessarily like, ooh, hyper-realistic skeleton popping out of a closet, but something that's plausible. And even worse, stuff that forces, like, self-introspection.
So something like the Poughkeepsie tapes or something?
I was thinking something more along the lines of, once again, this is going to sound cheesy, scream a little bit. I consider that fairly plausible. I don't consider the movies themselves scary. I consider my feelings after the movies scary.
Right.
So, like, this whole time, like, they're, like, playing off of the whole, like, it's like a horror film in most of them, actually, and they're talking about genre awareness, and they're treating it like it's, like, a game, or like it's a movie, rather, and you're sitting there as, like, you know, the audience, and you're judging their actions. It's like, oh, if they did it like this, they wouldn't have gotten caught, or, oh, if they did it like this, or, it would make sense if this person. You're not treating it seriously either. You're also treating it like a movie because honestly, it is. And then it kind of sometimes forces you to be like, well, I would have done it like this.
How do you feel about that commercial where it's like that group of teens that are like literally they run into the barn behind a wall of chainsaws and the killer's just in the room with them, like, are they really this stupid? And then when the kids run out, like, yeah, like the girl's like, why don't we just get in the moving car? No, that's stupid. What do you want to do? Let's run for the cemetery. Okay, that's smart.
Exactly. Yes, stuff like that. It's just like, at first, like, look, I worked retail for a long time, so before that, I didn't think people could be that stupid. They're definitely that stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
You once
you
were
lived-
a sweet summer child.
So you lived a horror
No.
movie, basically.
Yeah.
you have no idea. But,
Yeah.
you're basically forced to confront human stupidity and the actual atrocities that people are capable of committing. And, honestly, it's just like all the world's a stage and some of us do our own stunts. It's horrifying.
Is all the world's a stage and Vince McMahon runs the theater?
Oh, God. You're fire!
Yeah, well, Austin 316 says my coupon ain't expired.
Your
Don't say the word
coupons
coupon around me.
expire!
Don't say coupon around me. Please.
Fair enough.
But
That's
yeah,
right.
that's what
you
scares
used
the
to
shit
work
out
at
of me.
Bath and Body Works, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. And just so you know, right now we're having a sale on our candles. Our 3-wick candles are 2 for $20 right now. And if you check your email, there's a $10 coupon.
I like how you pulled off the glasses to facilitate the transformation.
Yeah.
It is horrifying. It's funny because when I have to do the same thing, I don't have a physical component. However, thank you for calling your local insurance company. This is David speaking. How may I help you? I'm sorry. Mr. Friedman is currently busy at the moment. He can't help you right now, but I can take an appointment. I'm sorry. Mr. Freeman's in a meeting. No, he doesn't want to talk. Ma'am, I understand you're upset. 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 Thank you, please. Okay.
Just so you know.
Mrs. Friedman, make sure to get milk on the way home. XOXO. Thank you, ma'am. I'll make sure he calls you back. Bye-bye.
Damn.
All right.
Click.
I'm going to take off my wig for a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, this jacket's getting hot. Excuse me.
You know what?
Wings.
No, they're caught in the necklace.
Shit. Be
I
careful.
gotta untangle my...
Yeah, I am a weakling. I'm fucking 33. Leave me alone.
Oh,
Okay, fine. I'll relent.
Toss a pair of tweezers to your Witcher, please.
toss
my
some
eyeball.
scissors to your Witcher. He needs to cut his way out. He needs to cut his way out. Is this...
So who wants to go next on our little round table?
Dave, how about you go while I try to free myself from this nightmare that I've trapped myself in?
Look, you still have to be on the podcast until it ends, asshole.
I mean, I'm gonna be here. I'm just...
Yeah, dude, take off
okay,
the,
I was pulling that the wrong way.
yeah, take off the necklace, man.
Oh.
And yeah,
I think that was caught in this one.
oof.
Oh,
So-
God.
So in a similar vein to
Why is
Vicky,
this
what
so-
terrify?
Oh, because there's a knot in the wig. Okay. That would explain a lot of things. All right. Whoa.
So in a similar
Oh.
vein,
Go for it,
so
Dave. I'm
it's-
sorry.
it's all right.
I'm just trampling.
Out.
I'm able to barely, breathe, and I'm trampling Dave. I feel bad, Dave. I'm sorry.
Tino,
Tino, please do not timestamp that whole section there. Please do not.
Tino, please timestamp that section.
It's getting timestamped.
Yeah!
As we speak.
There we go.
All right,
Mark it
Dave. I'm
down.
sorry. Go ahead.
So, much like Vicky, what does scare me more than anything supernatural is realism in an idea. For me, my equivalent to that is institutionalized horror. Things like the Stanford experiment and whatnot. The idea that all it takes for us to do horrific things is for someone empowered to imbue someone else with authority to do things. And that people are less likely to question orders no matter what they're asked to do. I am Jewish. My family has some personal history with this. It is absurd to the point of terrifying. And that just robbed all all the vacuum out of the room. So I'm going to bring this back to the ridiculousness of saying...
Wait. You took the vacuum out of the room?
Yeah.
What'd you replace it with?
Air.
He
I
put
don't
the
know.
air back in the room. Thanks, Dave. We can breathe
Yes.
again.
Dave
the
is
anti-vacuum.
basically Lone Star from Spaceballs. He gave us our air back.
Yep.
Thank you, Lone Star.
Anytime. Now just don't mind me as I
Raspberry.
Big away.
Raspberry. Only one man would give me the raspberry. Lone
Lone
Star.
So the other type of thing that scares the living shit out of me on a more visceral level than the conceptual horror that I just mentioned is I mentioned the thing that scares me most about the thing is that it kills you cell by cell. The idea of something slowly killing you from the inside out on an atomic or cellular level is freaking scary as hell.
Oh, you mean like that one scene in like the Island of the Giant Insects where like that kid gets the parasite that just like bulges out his eyes and makes him want to like get killed?
Yeah, or Jeff Goldblum in The Fly.
Oh, that's a
I thought you
bad
were
one.
just gonna say Jeff Goldblum in general. I'm like, wow, that's
Or how about any of
kinda
the
rough.
victims from the movie The Stuff?
Yeah. But basically, yeah, that's where I stand.
Oof.
Tino?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll go next. In the same vein as Dave and Vicky, I am scared most by the kind of stuff that can actually happen. And so for me, it's not horror movies so much as speculative fiction that scare me most. I watched Blade Runner 2049 for the first time last year, and I remember how fixated I got on it because I was thinking about how seemingly plausible such a dystopian world was. You know, stuff like The Hunger Games or 1984 or Fahrenheit 451. That scares me more than a guy running around with a chainsaw, because anybody armed with a gun can just shoot him. But I'll also follow up what Dave said. The stuff that scares me, aside from that, is the idea of not so much death, but the decay of consciousness or the torture of consciousness. Now, what do I mean by that? When I was a little kid, anytime somebody would turn to stone in a movie, I would be horrified beyond belief, because I would be like, are they still conscious, but they're like trapped in the stone and can't see or hear anything, and like have the urge to breathe but can't, and they're just stuck there alone with their thoughts in a permanent state of panic? Like, and then, okay, well, what happens to that consciousness if the stone slowly erodes over time or it breaks into multiple pieces? Like, that was the stuff that would keep me up at night. I'd be like, and it's something that the movies would never answer, and I'd be like, no, you can't just leave me like that. I need to know what's happening to the mind of this person.
Please tell
Tino?
me, can they actually feel themselves being stuck as stone statues?
Tino,
Yeah.
it's really good that you did not see Pokemon the first movie.
I did see Pokemon the first movie
Oh!
when I was much older, but
Oh, okay. I mean, back then
it didn't freak
time.
me out anymore.
Hey,
but,
Will.
you know.
Hey, Will. Eventually, cars stop thinking.
Well,
But
Oh
yeah,
my
like
God.
I saw the first episode of Dr.
da
Stone,
da
but I saw the first episode of Dr. Stone, and I was like,
Ooh.
okay, that sounds really boring, but hey, they can be revived. And then I saw the one person who had been broken into multiple pieces, and I was like, okay, what about them? Are they just stuck
Tino,
in multiple pieces for an eternity?
Tino, keep
Well-
watching all of Dr. Stone. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep watching.
Is this meat chunks? Did they get turned into meat chunks?
Probably.
Yeah, I was thinking it, sweetheart. I didn't say it.
Yeah, but like, what happens in the intermediate time between them breaking into multiple pieces and getting turned back into meat chunks?
I wonder
that's
if they
the question
feel
I want to.
pain.
That's the thing. So Vicky, you're wearing some bleach stuff. You remember there during, I think it was like the Arankar arc or something, where they go into the underworld. I forget the name of the place.
Hueco Mundo.
Hueco Mundo. Yes, that's correct. And the Arankar equivalent of the mad scientist is doing all this stuff, and then the Soul Reaper scientist shows up, and he does this thing that makes time slow down by 250,000 times, and then slowly stabs him through his hand and into his heart, and he's been like stuck in that position for millennia, just waiting to die.
That reminds
I saw that, and I was like, that's horrible.
That reminds me of this one episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where there was this explosion in slow motion.
I remember
and
that
Picard's just
episode.
like, hoi, 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 I'm a doofus. And it's like, fuck.
Oh, yeah, no, Picard actually goes crazy seeing it.
Hui, 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 boom, ow.
Yes, I remember that episode. That was actually, I think that was the first episode of TNG that I ever saw, and I was like, what is going on?
That's a fair question.
Who is this guy, and why is he poking a cloud?
That
ain't no cloud.
That man is one of the greatest Shakespearean actors currently alive.
Yes,
and he was back then as well, which is kind of nuts.
And he was also in the original Dune movie.
Oh, no, he's accessible. But the thing is, before he did Star Trek, like there was this time where theater actors thought of television as a quote-unquote lower form of entertainment. And Patrick Stewart did take it on primarily because he had never heard of Star Trek and because it's a good paycheck. Why not? And then as he played the role and he learned more about what this series is like, he fell in love with it.
That's always a good story.
Indeed.
He's also a good dude.
Oh, no, he is a great dude.
Okay, Will, your turn.
So, much like the rest of you, I too am frightened by things that can realistically happen in life. Unlike the rest of you, the thing that scares the piss out of me are public service announcements.
Why do they scare you? I can understand why they would annoy you, but why do they scare you?
I have a YouTube channel for you later.
Tino,
yeah, I was going to say, Vicky, you should show that.
I'm going to send you a few of the PSAs that somehow scare me.
Okay.
And it doesn't make sense. Like, some of them are actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah, there are certain things that, like, will scare... I think each of us will have something that scares us, but it doesn't make sense as to why it would scare us.
Right. But I think for these, it's because technically it does involve things that could actually happen to you. Like, there's this old... And, by the way, Tino, please, like, on top of, like, where we're displayed via the camera, play clips instead of some of these PSAs so people can see what the hell I'm talking about. I'll start with this one. It's an old famous one from Australia, and it shows the people being lowered down like bowling pins, and the Grim Reaper is bowling, and it shows people like looking terrified as they're getting like bowled over. The Grim Reaper is a really good bowler. Like, if you ever have a bowling team, you want him on your team because he gets strikes like all the time.
I'll keep that in mind.
And if he doesn't get a strike, he picks up the spare, which in his case, the spare is like a mother holding her child, crying. But the PSA is about how if Australia in the 80s doesn't do something to address the AIDS epidemic, it'll kill more Australians in like World War II. And then the final shot, it zooms out, and it's a bunch of the friggin'... There's like 20 Grim Reapers all at this bowling alley just bowling people over and killing them. And it's like, oh, this is horrifying. And it should just be like this like funny, stupid PSA, but it's horrifying, and it like all of these PSAs I'm about to mention get my heart rate jacked up. They actually make me afraid. There's another one from the 80s.
I have a question. How old were you when you first saw this?
24.
Oh, okay.
I actually get what Will's talking about here because there's no middle ground with PSAs. Either it's the goofiest shit you've ever seen in your life, and it's goofy and narmy and to the point where it's useless, or it's unfairly terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like this sounds like something that would be really stupid and that I'd laugh at until you're talking about like the genuine emotion coming from these people who are getting bowled over. Then I'd be like, I'm confused. I don't know how to feel about this.
There's also the recent PSA. You see it in like YouTube ads, and it's talking about how global warming is here. It says like if a planet full of scientists told you that global warming is a thing, it has like this like cartoon background, and it has like a mother pushing a daughter on the swing, and they're just sweating to death, and everything's melting around them. I felt more like, well, that's not good. That's not good at all.
There's another one, and this isn't even like as scary a PSA. There's one that's like a little more modern. I think it's from the mid-2000s. But it's a guy standing on train tracks as like a train is coming up behind him. And he's saying like, scientists say that the effects of global warming won't really kick in until about 30 years from now. And he goes, 30 years? That won't affect me. And then he steps off the train tracks, and the train's still coming, and behind him is this little girl that's maybe no older than 5.
I remember that one.
And I remember seeing that and just feeling like in the pit of my stomach, like, ooh, that's not good.
I mean,
I don't know. Like PSAs don't usually do anything for me because I know that it's trying to get to my emotions in order to make me formulate a certain opinion. I don't know. I always feel like I'm being manipulated whenever I watch.
No, but here's the thing, Tino. I don't feel like my opinion's being changed by PSAs, but I feel like a certain impact from them because again, it's real. It's something that's real.
Okay.
So
there's one from the 80s that is famous. It's Snake. So anyone who knows Snake, it literally, it's like this dude that kind of looks like. Do you remember like? Family Matters, like Eddie Winslow, like how he was kind of like the cool guy in like the Winslow household, or like the episodes where Urkel drank that potion and became Urkel.
Stefan Urkel,
yeah. Snake starts off kind of like a cool guy like that. He's like, hey, little dude, send your parents out the room. I got to talk. So I can only imagine like back when this first aired, if kids actually sent their parents out of the room, like, then this happens. And like, the guy is walking down the street, like, slowly getting towards the camera. But as he's walking towards, occasionally there's, like, objects that, like, pass in front of him. And every time they pass in front of him, his physical appearance changes a little bit. And,
guessing he slowly gets older?
No, he turns into, like, this snake-like demon thing.
Oh.
And it gets to the point where he, at one point, is like, now, some people are saying that there's all kinds of poisons and toxins and drugs that I'm selling to you. But hey, do I look like the kind of guy that would do something like that to you? Yes! And he like, see, I'm like, all right, so here's the thing. I am like starting to tear up right now because even thinking of these PSAs like fucking wigs me out the worst way.
The one that I remember that gets to me was, and I saw this in like my late 20s as well. Sorry, I swallowed the wrong way.
Ooh.
Talking too fast.
You all right?
Swallow before you speak, Dave.
Speak before you swallow, Dave.
I'll grab something to drink after this. But it was a Canadian farm equipment PSA.
Apaches?
Yep.
Oh, God! The snuff film!
Who doesn't watch TV?
The snuff film!
It's not on TV. It is effectively a snuff film. It is.
Yeah, Tino, I'm pretty sure.
I'm
pretty sure children were. Yeah. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Don't let your kids play in front of combines, kids.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that actual Canadian children. No, this is a British PSA, not a Canadian one.
Oh.
Yeah. But I we'll get to the Canadian ones in a bit because those look like snuff films too. But Apaches is like, it's this 1977 PSA out of England about don't play on the farm. And there's like 6 kids and the group slowly gets whittled down to 1. One of them gets run over by a tractor. One of them drinks like this poison that like melts her insides. One of them gets crushed by a gate. One of them drives a tractor that literally goes over a hill. And one of them drowns in pig shit.
Yeah, okay, so that plays into the horror of things that could actually happen to you. I know there have been a couple times when I ended up having to do a story about a kid who got crushed by farm equipment. And I was like, well, this is not going to be a pleasant day.
And then So Dave initially mistakenly said it was a Canadian PSA. Dave, have you seen the Canadian PSAs?
I think the reason I confuse that is I have seen a few of them.
Oh, so you've seen the snuff films?
Yeah.
I think the least violent Canadian PSA I've seen is the one from like either the late 80s or early 90s.
This is why Canada is so polite, by the way. They channel all their rage and hatred into their public service announcements.
Pretty much. Because the one that I know as being the least violent, the guy's at a restaurant with his family, and the waitress spills his coffee, and he goes, "She spilled my coffee," and she's like, "I'm sorry, sir." And then the next thing you know, he just goes, "You fucking bitch!" And he just like backhands her, and she falls on the table, and he grabs a coffee pot and he's pouring it over her face like he's waterboarding her. And I'm like, "The hell is this?" And the announcer just goes like, "You wouldn't get away with it here. You shouldn't get away with it at home." It's like, oh.
I mean, agreed, but wow.
I mean, honestly, that's just how food service is.
But then there are like some really creepy ones, and these are the ones that like, I swear, like these actually kept me up all night one night. There's a bunch in this line of like, like there's this one girl that's like, "I'm a sous chef. I'm supposed to get married next month, but I'll never make it there because I'm about to be in a horrible accident. But really, I should have known, someone should have mopped up the grease that was on the floor, and I really should have known not to pick up this giant pot just by myself." And then she slips, and it's a pot of boiling water, and it splashes all over her face and arms. And some guy just runs over, and as it fades to black, you just hear him say, "Somebody help me! Somebody help me!" And it's like, he actually sounds like someone just got in a horrible accident. But like there are these workplace PSAs that are all about like, oh, like you should be safer at work. Like there's one where there's an electrician that's dead, and the boss of the company is just like, "Jim was with us for 15 years before his horrible accident." And then the coffin opens up, and Jim is like half burned to death on his side from where he got fried, and said, "Accident? There really should have been a company policy about like, operating on live power lines. I knew I should have checked, wore my safety gloves before I did it. And when was the last time we updated our safety equipment?" And it's just like PSAs like that. Like there's one where a girl falls through a table at work. There's one where a dude is on a forklift and all these metal spikes impale him. It's insane.
So this is where Final Destination got its inspiration from.
No, I think this was actually inspired by Final Destination shit.
Some dude in the Canadian equivalent of OSHA went to see Final Destination one day, and he's like, "That's a good idea, eh?
Pretty
We
much.
should do that shit, eh?"
Yeah, no, like, that shit's serious, though. Like, I don't know if it's because I saw Final Destination so early in life, but even when I was working at Bath & Body Works and the morning shift just left all of their fucking boxes for me in front of the fire exit. I just look at that and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Or I'm getting something out of the back and someone's just like, "Oh, I need a ladder," and I'm stuck way up on top of the Garceys, like 25 feet in the air, and I'm just kind of looking down like, I don't have a ladder. I have no way down. Somebody help. Help. I'm running the shift. Somebody let me down.
But yeah, but they're like, PSAs just invoke this visceral fear, and it doesn't matter. Like, here, two other examples of ones that just scare the hell out of me, and I don't know why. Actually, three. One of them is going to be obvious. There's one about heroin, where it's just like this like creepy background, like, and it's got that visceral music that plays that's supposed to send a chill down your spine, and it's like, it'll say things like, "Your insides begin to rot. Your body does not process waste, and it rots inside of you, causing your intestines to die." And it's like, "Welcome to heroin. Once you're here, you can't escape." It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, like I've never done drugs in my life, and I'm still afraid that that's gonna like I'm just gonna start rotting because I saw this PSA. Like that old gypsy story where like you hear about something happening to someone else and then it happens to you. That's what it feels like.
Thank you, Will. Thank you.
Yes. Now you can be afraid too. All thanks to this past hour of recording.
Well, it's not like anybody said
So,
Skinwalker or
We
Wendigos.
need to lift the mood. We need to lift the mood. Here's a baby Yoda.
Yeah, you know what? He's going to be in a PSA soon enough.
Oh, no.
The two others that like I mentioned. Here's the thing. So there's one where it looks like it's just people in an orgy, And I'm like, this is so weird. Why is this a PSA? And then you realize that they represent like sands in an hourglass. And they slowly get to the bottom and they fall through. And when they fall through the hourglass, they're dead. And
Sounds like
I think it's
something out
another
of Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, kind of. I forget what exactly it was a PSA for, but I know it scared the hell out of me. And then there's another one where it's like, now this one I will admit kind of does make me laugh as well, but for some reason it still scares the hell out of me, even though it's goofy. Like, it's like a guy and a girl that come home from a club, and they get very intimate very quickly, like all kinds of positions.
Okay.
It almost looks like a hardcore porno. And then the guy is like down there like this, and he lifts his head, and it's Hitler. And Hitler is the one that's banging this girl. And then it like cuts to black, and then you just see white lettering saying, AIDS is a mass murderer. So I guess Hitler's supposed to be AIDS. Now, it's the stupidest PSA I've seen in my life. But it still scares me!
Sorry to interrupt you, Will. That's the title of the podcast. Hitler is supposed to eat AIDS.
This is how I make my debut here, of course.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast, Vicky!
Hitler is
With a
AIDS!
title like that, we're just gonna get completely kicked off of YouTube.
Yes, we're basically... We
There
might
are
as well talk
certain
about...
key words that the algorithm will be like, I don't care what the context is. Away with you!
Look, we might as well be talking about World War Demonetization at this point.
Damn. So, it's funny you may bring up that AIDS PSA as the last thing, because I do have an antidote for you, even though it was a radio PSA, but actually it's helped because it's a radio PSA. Tell me, Will, have you heard the legend of the Evangelion AIDS PSA?
Oh,
no.
yeah. Oh,
no.
my God. Where the voice actors for Shinji and Asuka got hired to like be like the teens in that thing, and it sounds like two teens actually having sex, and the announcer just goes like, one of these kids is killing the other. Can you tell who's killing who?
Yeah.
One of them has AIDS.
The backstory for the people not
God.
initiated, there's a wonderful YouTube channel called Red Bart is Cool that has a video on this, but the backstory is that Spike Spencer and Tiffany Grant are professional voice actors employed by ADV at the time to do the dub of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Their performances have become iconic since then, mainly because they're the ones that a lot of Americans grew up with. But they operated in the Houston area. And a friend of Spike's worked for the Houston's Public Safety Council and reached out to Spike being like, hey, we need a voice actor to record this radio PSA. Do you know, are you interested? And also, do you know a female voice actor to play the woman's part? And he goes, yeah, no, I got this person I've been working on this project with. Calls up Tiffany. Tiffany says, hell yeah, money, let's do it. They go in, they record their parts separately, and they're spliced together. And the end result never makes it to air.
Gee,
Because,
I wonder why.
well, no, Evangelion wasn't well known then in the public consciousness. It doesn't make to air because the guys who review the ad goes like, you sound too realist, you sound like too real in your fucking sounds. Now, I've listened to this PSA. The audio has leaked out, courtesy of Tiffany Grant, and it's in that Red Bard. Video. When they say it sounds too real, I think they mean that in an actual sense and not in, oh, this sounds like porn sense. It sounds like what you hear through a wall at 3 a.m. if your walls are too thin.
Yep. So
that makes it really uncomfortable.
So Tino, as part of what we're talking about, I'm gonna start uploading to the Discord some of the PSAs I was talking about, and this way, if you want to use any of the visuals from them,
Sounds good.
because
Yeah.
boy,
I want one.
are these golden? I'm also gonna upload.
Give me your rations.
Also, the video that Dave was talking about. So wait, real quick. I mentioned some of the PSAs. I mentioned some of the eight. Hold on. I think I mentioned some heroin PSAs, right?
Oh yeah, rotting from the inside out, totally, man.
Oh my god.
The infamous "This is your brain on drugs" PSA.
That one.
I can't with that one.
Yeah, no. So
I
as
should
a
have
kid,
put some eggs in this thing.
Yeah, no, so as a kid, I was like, that's just stupid. As an adult, having seen people act like that, I'm go, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tino, the PSA is called Heroin is Living Hell. There's a bunch of like horrible drug PSAs. You could actually, you'll see ones for like the 50th scariest and everything, and geez, I'm still tearing up from this shit. Holy fuck! Like this is just, I'm sorry, it's too visceral a thing. But here's the dumb thing.
Man, this was a really inappropriate time to eat a pickle, huh?
Oh my god.
We're in a pickle, buddy.
So here's the thing. As much as PSAs scare me, the crazy thing is like every 4 or 5 months, I just get an urge to watch a bunch. And I'll do this while I'm at work.
So this is where we get to an interesting question, because you're trying to re-experience these things, correct?
No, it's just an urge.
Yeah, no, the urge is to re-experience them.
I don't know if it's to re-experience them. It's just, it's like, watch them. Okay.
Yeah.
What is this? Is this like the Call of the Void?
Say that again?
Isn't this like the Call of the Void, kind of like, I think there's a French word for it, but it's just like, you're just kind of looking, you're like, yeah, I could totally jump in front of that train.
It's
I mean,
not
maybe.
like...
I don't know that that's it, but I think I know what Dave's about to say.
Because I think there's a difference between between horror, as we understand it, and the horror.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that once in a while, you just need to feel alive, man.
So,
and watching those PSAs is a lot cheaper than divorcing your wife and getting a sports car.
Okay, so... all right, we're going to do something interesting right now. So I have pulled up Heroin is a Living Hell, PSA, 1999. And you're just going to see my reaction to how this is. I'm going to read to you the text as it comes up. So let me know when you guys are ready.
Before you do that, let me get something to drink.
Sure, go for it.
Be right back.
Oh, man.
Don't let him escape.
Let me polish this off, too. By the way, to anyone who is in the Philadelphia or New Jersey area, this is the Cape May Oktoberfest. I definitely recommend picking some up if you could find it. They've actually made a lot more of it this year. Tino, are you shaving?
What? It was in my vest.
Sorry, what?
Tino's just shaving on the podcast.
What? Holy shit!
I found it in my vest.
Tell me, Mr. Valentino, what isn't in your vest?
A girlfriend?
Cape May Oktoberfest?
Or that?
All right. Is everyone ready to see me, like, literally start freaking out?
Yep, go for it, man.
All right, here we go. So this is, and I think I have uploaded it to the general chat, so Tino can actually just play the visuals from this if he wants at this point.
As long as we don't get a copyright strike from it.
I'm not sure if we will or not, but I don't think
just
we will.
up at a
I mean, these are
couple
PSAs.
octaves.
So, all right. It's called Partnership for a Drug-Free Singapore, Heroin is a Living Hell, PSA, 1999. All right, so it shows a guy's skin, he's sweating. Your intestines shut down.
Oh, are these the subtitles?
Food rots inside them, yeah.
Hmm.
Feces and urine are released in your sweat. Oh, my God. 4 out of 5 who try heroin never escape. Heroin is a living hell. Oh my God, the Partnership for a Drug-Free Singapore, just the visual of the guy behind in the thing, like, holy. Oh boy, that's a rough one.
Yeah. I saw the blink. I saw the repeated blinking, and I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, because I'm tearing up like something fierce now.
Yeah.
Let's try another one. This is fun.
Will the masochist, ladies and gentlemen. That, like,
Where there's a will, there's a way.
There's like even just listening to that was an interesting
Horrifying?
experience. Well, because like the other week, I found out that that somebody in the high school class that I graduated with died of a drug overdose, and I would be surprised if it was anything but heroin. And that's like the second or third person that we've lost in 2 years. So yeah, don't do heroin.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I have some friends.
I mean, I didn't
who
even
were...
know the guy, so well, it's not that I didn't know the guy. I didn't know him well. Other people were closer with him, but I was like, okay. How many more are we gonna lose to this? So
I mean, there's some friends who were addicted to it, and sorry about that, Will. I have some friends who were on it, and it took them a really, really long time to get the help they needed, and it was just sad watching them degrade. Like, it was rough.
Yeah,
they're alive, but
yeah, it's addiction is a terrible, nasty disease.
The moral of the story, kids, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, and if you are suffering from addiction, please seek treatment.
I will put a link to resources for that sort of thing in the description.
Oh yeah, that's probably a really good thing to link right now, even though right now I'm just linking a bunch of horrible PSAs.
For all 12 people who watch our podcast, if any of them happen to be addicted to heroin.
Yes,
we
for
got
all
6
12
more
of our
since we
listeners,
started,
if you remember a few episodes back when I told everyone how to get into the medicine cabinet in your house, we are now providing resources on what to do in case someone does get into the medicine cabinet.
God it, Will! This is why we can't have these things.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God, yeah. So, yeah, there's just a bunch of creepy PSAs out there. There's one, I don't know how many people are familiar with the Howard Stern show.
I've heard of it.
I have.
Yeah, there's one that stars a famous character that used to be on his show, Crackhead Bob. And it kind of shows his mental state of like how far he's deteriorated. And it's just a mess. I think that probably the worst thing is if you just type in scary PSAs into YouTube. They give you a ton. Like there's one where it's about like saving the rainforest so that the orangutan has a habitat, but in order to like get the message across, they show a guy opening up a Kit Kat bar, but instead of the chocolate bar there, it's an orangutan finger, and he just bites into it, and there's blood running down his mouth.
Once again, Will, why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know. There's one where it's like a dude at work, and the machine...
it's a morbid fascination.
It's like digital self-flagellation.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, there's one where there's like a dude at work, and he goes to like turn on the machine at work, and it doesn't turn on. And he's like, oh, what's going on here? So he sees like, oh, the safety switch has been turned like the one way. So he turns the safety switch, and then he turns the machine on. And as he does that, his manager runs out and is like, no, shut it off. And then you see the reason why the safety switch was on was because there was a guy there, and the guy got his head crushed by the machinery.
Ooh.
Like, oh, is it bad?
It
like,
is.
There's one where a guy is like at work and his arm gets caught in a conveyor belt because of his shirt, and he can't get it out, and it just shows his finger literally being like twisted open and his hand breaking.
Okay, that's
once again, all the PSAs you're mentioning are just bringing up stories that I've had to cover at work. I'm thinking of a guy who got his leg cut off in a cement conveyor. So yeah.
Tino, I've said this many times. I'm glad you don't work in news anymore.
So am I.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
This is
brutal.
a smile of desperation.
Yeah,
I'm in danger.
Yeah, you did good getting out of that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why PSAs don't freak me out anymore. I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, you've seen the things they were trying to prevent.
Yeah, I won't go into horrific detail because I could.
Oh my god, I found a new one!
No,
Stop it, Will! Stop it!
No, I thought I saw this one before. It's in a compilation. All right. So I forgot about a very specific area of PSAs. Landmine PSAs.
Oh, Lord. Oh, fuck. I know where this is going. Fuck no. Don't.
So it shows...
Ladies and gentlemen, don't step on landmines.
No, it's not even that, Tino.
These are actually important in places like Vietnam because
And Cambodia and Laos and
everyone, war is hell. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. War is hell, and the scars of war are not what you think they are, and they last for well beyond your lifetime.
Yeah, like there's one where, like the one I just saw, it's like a girl going to her soccer match, and I'm like, and there's no warning, there's no like preface of what this is. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? And one of the soccer players is running down the field, and she steps on a landmine and explodes, and everyone else there is freaking out because the one girl is instantly dead. I think a few others are dead, and a bunch of others are maimed. And it's like, you know, would you stand for this if it was in your country? It's like, ugh. But there's that one. There's one where there's like a dude who like is playing soccer and he's like drinking and driving, and he like rolls his car and it goes into someone's yard and runs over their kid. There's one where a guy is like, you know, you could like it looks like his mom's preparing Sunday brunch for him, and it's like intercut with shots of him at the bar, and he's there with his friends. It's like, oh, come on, Dave, just one more pint, or one more, and then it cuts to him. You could tell he was in an accent where he's like disabled for the rest of his life, and his mom's feeding him like blended food, and she's sitting there trying to spoon feed him, saying, "Come on, Dave, just one more." And it's just like that's the thing. I'm not going to keep going into all these disturbing PSAs because, let's be honest, we could be here all night. And
look, let's be honest. How depressed do we want our viewers to be after they finish watching this?
Look,
this is supposed
I'm
to be
already going to have
now.
trouble sleeping. Well, no, that's the thing. It's things that scare you.
True, but here's the thing. There's a difference between, as I said before, there's a difference between horror and the horror. We are firmly in the horror right now.
Okay.
Everybody,
so, all right, I guess,
calm down, Kurtz. Calm down.
Everybody, the true horror is man.
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, that's what the PSAs have
yeah.
been telling us. This like last
Literally,
hour.
literally, if we're not evil, we're stupid, or some combination therein.
So, I guess to kind of make it a little more lighthearted to end on, I'm going to go around and just, what's everyone's favorite Halloween tradition?
Let's add something onto that. What's your favorite Halloween tradition, and what's your favorite movie to watch around Halloween time? Because I think movies are a large part of many people's Halloween tradition.
Yeah.
I don't have a specific, but I do what Will does. But I used to. I don't have cable anymore. I just got disconnected recently. All internet, all streaming, all the time. But yeah, no. Basically, though, I used to just throw on a local AMC movie marathon and just watch what was on. If I did have to pick out some favorites, I always dip into the Alien franchise because that's just a well done movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a well-done movie, and it's like my favorite kind of science fiction, which is just
space.
Listen, I love Star Trek. Star Trek is a wonderful universe, but the Enterprise is too clean for me personally. I like the idea of a ship that's got miles on it.
Battlestar Galactica, dude.
Oh no, I loved Battlestar Galactica. Loved was the past tense is implied there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But that's a discussion for another time.
Fair enough.
Here's a Cylon, there's a Cylon, everyone here's a Cylon, but we'll cover that, like I said, another time. But yeah, but give me a spaceship with some miles on it, man. And also just the idea of the xenomorph and what it represents, and what the and a question of the xenomorph is the xenomorph evil or just a force of destruction? And who is the bad guy here is a question that's raised throughout the entire movie. Because the xenomorph is clearly a force of evil, but it's also a force.
No more
Of
than a
nature.
parasitic wasp is.
Exactly. And here's the thing: do you hold a grudge against the Wasp, or the bastard who locked you in the room with the Wasp?
And there you go.
I also immediately watch Aliens 2 afterwards, just because that's a great action movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I like robots. So...
That's all he had to say to me to get me
So
to date
that's-
him. I like robots.
So that's for that. But for Halloween traditions, I always like putting up decorations. We didn't do it this year because my folks are in the process of moving to a new place.
Understandable.
But we used to get a pumpkin and just put it out in front along with some decorations just to make the house ready for trick-or-treaters. And I live in an apartment building, and it's one of the things I miss. That being said, developments in the near future may mean I have to go escorting kids trick-or-treating again, so we'll see.
Yay!
Wait, being an uncle has its benefits.
Indeed. Tina?
So one of my favorite Halloween traditions is a relatively new tradition, and it's not precisely on Halloween, but I always enjoy going to Laura and Steve's Halloween party because I get to hang out with my friends and I get to see people in crazy costumes. So I also kind of like to people watch on Halloween. And something that I will sometimes do on Halloween just for the heck of it is play some Halo, because I discovered Halo around that like mid to late October. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Nostalgia factor. You guys are going to think this is stupid. My favorite Halloween movie is Spaced Invaders. And you're all giving me this look as though you've never heard of it. They played it on the Disney Channel a lot, and it's one of those movies that it has like mediocre effects for its time, but the story is so weird and bad that it's entertaining in its own right.
Yes,
I can
in
see
the
that.
curve of in the entertainment and the value of mediocrity, it's over here on the bad but super entertaining.
Yes, and if you've never heard of Spaced Invaders, here's the basic plot. The Martian Armada is engaged, somewhere other than the solar system, right? And there's this tiny little patrol ship that's patrolling the asteroid belt, and it's Halloween night, and they pick up a transmission of Orwell's War of the Worlds being broadcast from just a little local station in the middle of Iowa. And they think, they're invading Earth. Come on, let's go. Let's get involved on the fighting. There's 5 of them, and they crash land in the middle of Iowa. They are completely incompetent. They're wandering around this town trying to single-handedly fight a war. They're failing everywhere. They don't even manage to kill anybody. And because it's Halloween, everybody thinks that these short little green aliens are just a bunch of children in costumes. Until eventually the town finds out, wait, there really are aliens here, and they respond in the most hick way possible. A bunch of people from a polka party rush out in costume, pile into the back of a bunch of pickup trucks, and just start driving around trying to find these aliens, and then just randomly shooting off guns into the air. I love it. Everything about it is amazing, and you should watch it.
Oh my
Spaced
God.
Invaders is the name of the movie.
I'm looking this shit up. This sounds like my jam.
You're gonna have to bring up the name of this in the description, Tino, so we all know to look it up.
Oh, not a problem, not a problem. Like I said, this is not a good movie, but that makes it so
sounds
much
like
more
it is.
entertaining.
I would
It
say
sounds like
it is.
the best kind of movie.
Let
yeah.
me put it like this: it was never going to win Best Picture or Best Anything, but it holds a special place in my heart because it's just mischief. There
something
isn't
that
even
you
really much of a
enjoy.
plot. It's just mischief. It's a bunch
fun.
of. It's us if we were Martians trying to invade Earth.
Speak for yourself. I can do it myself.
Well, look.
No,
I feel
you
like,
can't.
I feel like you're insulting
And that's the fight that would
Martians.
happen in the movie.
You're kind of insulting the Martians, my dude.
Damn.
I don't know how I feel about that. that is alien phobic.
No, they're literally xenophobic.
See, you're being xenophobic by hating on these aliens, Tino.
Oh, fine. I guess it's not PC to hate on the non-existent aliens.
You see, you joke, and then alien life's gonna come down and be like, so, we just want to have a conversation with this Mr. Valentino, just him and us and our baseball bats.
Why do they have baseball bats?
They play baseball on Mars?
Well, yeah, it's the great Martian pastime, didn't you know?
Dude, like, the moment we made contact, the MLB was already looking to, like, establish this team.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. With that lower gravity, I don't know what kind of bullpen they'd be able to put together, but okay.
You would be... The MLB does not care. Literally, if the moment they have the whiff of a market, they're going to try.
And do you think they care about regulation? I'm just saying.
Good lord, the MLB runs a good organization 90% of the time. Okay, and that's me being hyper generous, but they are also desperate for expansion. Baseball is one of those games that is unfortunately quite niche. I am wasting time when Vicky could be telling us her stuff.
Vicky, go for it.
Baseball coming soon to a star system near you.
Oh God,
Okay.
no!
It's out of the park. But no,
Out of this world.
E.T. home run. That was even shipped by my standards. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Oh,
God. Okay, so you chose this.
I kind of did,
yeah. So
I
favorite
think she was talking to
traditions.
me, dude.
Oh.
I meant all of you. You chose to bring me here, but you specifically, Dave, chose this. So just
I have no regrets.
Regrets. Sorry, I was hungry.
now that's a PSA. So my favorite traditions and my favorite things to watch. Okay. So I'd say my traditions are a little weird, and I actually have a little bit of a commonality here with Tino. So starting with that one, I like to replay Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion around October. I don't know why, but I do. Specifically October.
Speaking of things inspired by Alien.
Exactly. Man, I'm gonna have nightmares about the SAX for the rest of my life. But that's
I mean,
beside
the
the point.
SAX is literally the thing in Metroid.
I don't want to die. Okay.
The correct pronunciation is the saxophone.
Oh,
Can we
no.
kick Tino from the podcast?
No saxophone.
Saxophone.
With the sax joke has been made so many times. My personal favorite is I don't know if no one's done this where they've modded the game Metroid Fusion so that like a saxophone solo jazz piece just plays every time the SAX gets close to you.
Can we just have Careless Whisper show up every time the SAX shows up?
Oh
No,
no!
so it cannot be Careless Whisper. It has to be more frenetic. It has to reflect for the joke to work. It has to be like that. It has to be wild chaos shit.
So it's got to be like five. It's got to be five jazz musicians all taking heroin at the same time, so they can't hear each
They're
other
all
play.
melting. They're all melting.
Let's get Chris on this.
Oh, God.
Oh, actually, no. Chris can help us round up the jazz section of NJGSO.
But yeah, so that's one of the traditions I like to do. I of course like to get dressed up, and even though I'm not going anywhere because despite my height, I'm not going to be mistaken for a child. I like to get dressed up, and when I hand out candy to trick-or-treaters, like, I just like doing that. I like doing the wholesome stuff like that and the decorating. I love doing all of that stuff. Like, it's so much fun, honestly, seeing the kids have fun, pretend to be scared, being like, oh, Spider-Man, I know you. High five, little buddy. Like, I honest to God just love that. It's just so wholesome, and it's like, just let the kids be kids. I don't care if you're a teenager, a kid, just like, here's the candy, have fun, please. But for things that I like to watch, I honestly, my favorite movie to watch is, during this, there's two of them actually. The first I actually shared with Dave, and it is called Night of the Creeps.
Yes.
Okay,
Love
Tino,
this
you need to watch this thing because Night of the Creeps.
I'll be right back.
I'm trying to think of
Oh,
a way
no.
to. No, I'm not. Oh yeah, and Will's getting something. I know what Will's
okay.
getting.
I gotta find it.
But to explain, I can't explain what Night of the Creeps is without spoiling it, but the movie begins like 3 times.
Yes.
Yup.
Minimum. You need to watch it. You'll understand.
And it's great. It's just like, and then there's this one character, I'm not spoiling anything. They're basically, it's like another movie inside of this movie.
Yeah, so never mind. Vicky just stated it outright. It begins 3 times because it is several movies occurring simultaneously.
Gotcha.
And they all just kind of culminate into this one beautiful thing. And please watch the movie. Please watch the movie.
Good news, ladies. Your dates are all here. The bad news is they're dead.
It also, this is like the best character in the film that Will is quoting.
Like,
shouldn't have swiped right.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You
So,
just pick up one day you'll pick up the phone and just be like, thrill me.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, because here's the thing. It's like, the part of this character that I love is that he has a genuine death wish. And it's not played for and it's not like a haha, I'm a devil may care, I'm always gonna leave an age guy. It's a oh hey, you came to my door and interrupted me while I had the oven open and the match in my hand.
It's like, huh, well, fancy meeting you here.
Yeah.
He keeps trying to kill himself.
And getting interrupted into these situations, it's
Are beautiful.
you flossing?
I can.
Who's flossing?
No. Tino's not doing the dance. He's actually got floss in his
Are you
teeth.
kidding me?
No,
I'm missing it.
I found
it's
it in my
on
coat.
I think a little bit to the right, dude. A little bit to the right. There, yeah, there you go. You got it, buddy.
This is the best and worst recurring gag that Tino has ever done.
This is the only recurring gag that
It's so
Tino has ever
subtle.
done.
It's subtle but effective. Like
You need
heroin
to-
in your system.
Heroin is not subtle.
The joke, David. The joke. And there is another horror movie. It's not horror, but another Halloween movie I like watching, and I don't know how many of you guys heard of it. It's called Trick or Treat.
Oh my god.
Oh, good. Somebody here has heard of it.
It sounds familiar.
So
Take
have
it
you
away,
heard-
Vicky.
So first things first. Has anybody here heard of the Christmas movie Krampus?
Yes.
Oh god,
It's
yeah.
from the guys who made that.
Oh no.
Oh yes. So it's like this little anthology movie. Like it's like a bunch of different stories, once again taking place all in this one universe. And once again, they just kind of culminate into the one thing, and they have like intersecting like things. And it's honestly it's really cool. Like there's a section about werewolves, one about a school teacher, one about a school bus driver. And like it's like I don't want to spoil too much, but there's so many. One, it's just a good movie. Two,
I
it
presume
has.
trick-or-treating is involved.
Oh, you have no idea. I even found a character I relate to, and that has me deeply concerned because you don't want to be anybody in this movie.
Damn.
I am now scared.
Good. Be scared. Watch the fucking movie.
And the mask goes back on.
There we go. It won't hide you forever, buddy. It won't hide you forever.
Oh, Tino, what did you do now?
He flossed. But yeah, no, watch both of those. They're both really good movies. And actually there is a third movie, and it's more like an any time of year thing, but you know, it's all scary and stuff. Anybody else remember Jason versus Carrie?
No, actually.
Oh god, yeah.
Her name wasn't actually Carrie, but
But it was
psychic.
a girl with psychic fire powers.
She not just fire. She could also like control like electrical cables.
Oh, are you talking about Friday the
Was that
13th
New
Part 7?
Blood? Was that
Jason
New Blood?
versus Azula?
I can't remember. Not quite.
No. Jason versus Akira.
Yes.
Oh, that's
a
even
good one.
worse.
Yes. Oh, it's absolutely worse. I feel like, is it New Blood? Is it? You see, I should know this. This is like my favorite one too.
Oh, where she plays like psychic pinball with Jason Voorhees?
Yep, the New Blood. It was part 7.
Yep.
Psychic pinball. That's an image.
It was
Oh
good.
yeah, all
Yeah,
kinds of fun.
That's the stuff that I like. Well,
So, some of my favorite things are, again, like Tino said, going to Stephen Floor's Halloween party, and like Dave said, handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. I like going to my buddy Evan's house on Halloween because his family normally has like a fire pit out in the front yard, and we just sit out there and all give candy to whatever kids come by. But my favorite thing that I like to sprinkle into all of these Halloween traditions is I like to indulge in cheesy horror movies and horror video games from the mid-90s to the early aughts. So things like the original Resident Evil games, Silent Hill, Parasite Eve.
Of course it's going to be Resident Evil.
Countdown Vampires, which is the best game of all time.
Doo-dah, doo-dah.
Yeah, gotta get that stun globe and play with the name of the weapon with the mispronounced name. There's a pole here, but it doesn't to turn on the power.
This is my eyes glazing over every time you mention this game.
Oh, just wait till we play it, Steve. It's gonna be, or it's not Steve, Dave. It's gonna be
Okay,
a let's
Dave,
play at some
Steve
point.
now.
But yeah, you too, Steve.
I am Dave.
I just have this image of when you say that, like, the Tino freezes our images and plays this somber music overhand, like he plays taps, and he arranges our boxes into missing man formation.
Actually, wait a minute.
Where Steve is not here.
That's a little bit of stolen valor, but
Okay.
Wow.
Oh no, it is hyper disrespectful, and you should not do this at all.
don't give me the idea.
Wow.
God.
All right then.
Then okay, don't do this, Tino. Holy fucking shit! Please do not do this.
Tino, do
Sounds like you're begging
something
for his
that will
life.
get people talking. We need a viral thing to get the crowds talking. Steve won't care since he's not involved with this episode. They can't tie it back to him, so he's in favor of this idea too. I could speak for him.
Oh my. Okay, so I'd like to point out that Will did just, in fact, turn into Attitude Era Vince McMahon just now.
See? You're fine.
No. The quote from there you have to do is, "It was me, Austin! It was me all along! You bought it!
I have no clue what's going on.
You bought it!" I want to point out that Vince McMahon is responsible for some of the greatest twists in the storyline of professional wrestling in history, and also all of the dumbest, well, most of the dumbest ones. Can't give him credit for everything. Vince Russo did some things.
This is why I have no clue what's going on.
Wrestling is a thing, and one of these days I will do a thing on it. And I will be sorry.
No, you won't. You're never sorry.
You're right. Wrestling is the greatest theater that we currently have in existence, and also anime.
I mean, true. But on that note, we said we were going to do a mini episode. It's been an hour and 45 minutes almost.
We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah,
Who said
let's
anything about a mini episode? I didn't get that memo.
let's wrap up. We'll hit a few of the staples. I guess once again, fuck Kingdom Hearts because that's still a thing.
Yeah. Fuck Kingdom Hearts. I can't wait till the next game comes out. God damn it.
Pretty much.
Sora's actually decent to play as.
What?
Sora's actually decent to play as. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh, and Smash?
I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
even gotten around to it yet.
When they patch him, this is gonna age badly.
Is there anything else that anyone else would like to discuss on the podcast tonight? And don't lie to me or I'll know.
I will eventually be shilling for my video game orchestra that I sing with. Our concert, we are aiming for January, so look forward to that.
And don't forget, be sure to tune in for our next episode, which is going to be our very first Let's Play episode. See you there.
Oh my god, yeah, because
Right.
that's gonna happen before the Thanksgiving special.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. We're filming that on the 13th.
Oh no!
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
Oh no.
Oh, we're gonna have all
don't do
kinds
it.
of fun.
Will,
who's-
don't do it.
So who's offering and who's playing?
I
Okay,
think Tino's
so,
bringing the game.
Yeah, I'm bringing the game. Steve offered his basement.
No,
and-
who's playing?
I determined that I would bring a D4 with me, and that would determine who plays the game.
All right, so you're not
There's
to
just-
roll
wait,
that.
wait,
Ooh.
Wait,
I like that the
there's-
DM looks scared.
Wait, there's
No,
just,
I'm not scared. I'm intrigued.
there's just one problem. There are 3 other people rather than 4 other people, unless we bring Vicky with us.
Or
You
unless
re-
Tino wants to play.
Reroll on 4.
Reroll on 4. So we didn't get Steve's permission, but Vicky, you coming with us?
Yeah, I'm in.
I guess Steve will find out on Halloween when we upload this episode.
We'll
Is it
clear
going to be
with
a survival
Steve.
horror?
We'll
I can play
clear it with
survival horror.
Steve beforehand.
No, don't. It's funnier if he just finds out.
Tino,
Yeah,
if you...
it's like the 3 of us walk in. And, oh, Vicky, what's she doing here?
I
Tino
retrieved her.
is-
I have retrieved my
This
retrieved
is the
her from the
He-Man Woman
abyss.
Haters Club. What's she doing here?
All right, Spanky.
Oh.
Da,
He's
da,
in East
da,
Alpha,
da, na, 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 na.
I'm going to say this now. If Tino forces me to play Countdown Vampires,
No, that's what Will will
I
do.
know. Will's influencing. Will is the puppet master. We've accepted this.
I like having power.
So then Vicky is on board. 13th it is.
All right. So, on that note, stay tuned. I don't know if I'm going to call the Let's Play a podcast episode, but stay tuned for our next episode of this podcast, which will be the Thanksgiving special.
Okay, so if we don't count the Let's Play, yes, next podcast episode is the Thanksgiving special.
Yeah.
Get
the
ready for
playcast and then the podcast.
Oh,
I think the Let's Play should be their own separate
Oh.
thing that just get uploaded to the.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, what about Thanksgiving, Tino?
Oh,
Did you think of something?
I can't believe you forgot, Tino.
I
That's why I
think
was
you know what?
panicking.
I think Tino.
Oh.
It's Thanksgiving. We are gonna have a good time on
Terminate
the
the
podcast
podcast.
with the turkey and mashed
Hey!
potatoes.
Hey!
Yay.
We are gonna have a good time.
Terminate the podcast now.
Okay.
Goodbye,
December,
America.
look, guys. December was Christmas. January was New Year's. April was Easter, and the 4th of July. But now it's Thanksgiving.
Wait, how does that
oh. It's
Goodbye, America.
Thanksgiving.
This is the punishment you deserve.
We are gonna have a good time. Oh, it's Thanksgiving.
Send
We
help now.
are